Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to BodyBags. It's week 242, and I'm your Sunday host, Bourgie86, here again to give you that Sunday review, guys. Yes. Now, the film I got for you guys today to review is a film from IMDb. Says that it was really made in 2015, but I don't think this one got like its initial release until last year, 2017, where I know it popped up on a few people's like list that I'm familiar with, which is the first place I heard of this film. And this film was actually recommended to me by one of my good friends from Exploding Heads Horror Podcast, Brandon, to check out. So this review's for him, kind of, in a way. So the film in question is Patchwork. Yes. Very interesting film. It's a very throwback film. It's a throwback to like a lot of like 80s horror references. I'll get a little bit more in that in a minute. But pretty much the main gist of this plot of this one is we meet three characters. We meet three different girls: Jennifer, Ellie, and Madeline. And when we meet them, and when they first meet each other, they wake up in this laboratory and they find out that they are sewn together and they are one being, but their minds are still alive and take over this body. Like each part of this body's personality is Jennifer, Ellie, and Madeline together, and they control the body together pretty much. And what they end up doing is they end up conversating, and they go out and try to seek revenge and find out what happened to them and what made them this way, pretty much. And with the help, and they end up buddying with this character named Garrett, who Jennifer was familiar with. I think, believe her and Garrett went to college together. And it leads to like a bloody rampage of murder and blood and guts and stuff like that happen in the process. That's pretty much the gist of the plot of this one. It's pretty much like a Frankenstein tale mixed with like a revenge film in a way. My thoughts on it: very great aesthetic. I really like the three main leads in this film because pretty much they are one body, but the way that they conversate, the way that they do it, is you see like different like side of it where all three of them are conversating together instead of like them inside like the being's mind talking the whole time. So you see all three of them in the same room, even though technically they're really not there. It's really just this one being there. And I really like how they conversate the three actresses that do a tremendous job, and they have great chemistry together. It goes very well with like a kind of the way that this film is told too, because you find out their story as the film progresses, and it's told like Tarantino-esque, where it has like chapters, and I believe there's either 7 or 8 chapters. Don't hold me to that. I think there's like 7 of them, where we find out like as the story progresses, it goes from like present to like the past, where we meet Jennifer and her side of it, then we meet Ellie and her side of it, and then we meet Madeline and her side of it. And it's very interesting in that way. I really like how they did it with the chapters. Now the effects are really good. Like there's a numerous amount of like cool like makeup effects, including like the makeup that they did on the main actress who plays the main body. Without going too crazy into it, it really looks well, especially like one side of her face is supposed to be Ellie and one side of her face is supposed to be Jennifer. It really looks like kind of like disembodied, if that makes sense. Really cool makeup and some cool weird bizarre effects too in this one, especially with like a owl cat. Yes, I said that right. Very throwback. There's a lot of references to like 80s films in this one. Most particularly like Reanimator. There's like this glowing green substance, without going too crazy into it, that makes an appearance in that film, which is very cool. That it's like a throwback to like Reanimator in a way, and like Frankenhooker, of course, and numerous other films. and it's just a super fun movie. You know, like uh, it has like that like high octane like soundtrack for like the type of movie it is, because it pretty much is like a horror comedy in a way, because they do have fun with the characters as well, and it has some like quirky funny moments to it that work for the benefit. And like I said, like the end of this one really cool. I really enjoyed how they did like the twist where there's like a reveal that you did not see happened, and somebody is not the way that they appear to be when we first meet them. Let's just put it that way. And yeah, it's really cool. There's like a little like cool like a romance between like the girls and Garrett that happens within the film, because we meet Garrett earlier in the film, and he's a really cool character. I like his interaction because he's kind of like a nerd. You know what I mean? Like he's like a medical student, and he has like that like nerdy attitude, especially when he's talking to girls and stuff. So it's kind of odd like that, and kind of quirky. Great performances all around. I do recommend this. If I had to rate it, I'm gonna give it like a solid 8.5 out of 10. Like I said, like it's maybe like one or two scenes were kind of a little too goofy for me, for myself, but overall the whole product is there and it works for its ability. You know what I mean? It's a super fun movie. This is a movie where you just enjoy and go for the ride. You know what I mean? And like I said, it has some cool special effects, and the way that they did them were really good. Uh, a note on this release that I have in my hand: it is a DVD-R. You could also stream this on Amazon and Netflix. I believe this movie's on Netflix also. The cool thing about this DVD-R, though, it does have a filmmaker's commentary, which I do want to sit down and listen to the directors and the filmmakers that made this movie, and get a little more hints of like stuff that happened. And another thing to note, the soundtrack to this movie, like I said, is awesome. The main score, I was talking mostly about the actual other songs that play in the movie. The main score has a very like Danny Elfman type vibe to it that really worked for it, and that's another reason why I loved it. So yeah, 8.5 out of 10 for Patchwork. Highly recommend it. Check it out. All right, guys, that's it for this review. I hope you enjoyed it. And as always, I'll be back next week with another one for you guys. Peace out.